Welcome back to yet another episode. I'm Kobe Mercury Clark. Welcome to Kobe MC Photography's channel. I've been a photographer for a long time. This is just information for someone who's new to the channel, and I exclusively shoot PENTAX products. That is my thing. So a lot of the information that's on my channel does pertain to PENTAX shooting. However, in regards to photography techniques and getting the shot and things like that, it doesn't matter what brand you're shooting with, you can gain a lot of knowledge from the channel. With that said, this specific video is going to actually be about PENTAX stuff, namely the 100 macro WR. So yes, the DFA 100 f2.8 macro WR. Not the new HD version. I don't have that lens, so this is the older version. One thing I do want to mention that I've seen a lot is people seem to have this confusion that the WR and AW naming convention means that the equipment is waterproof. It is 100% not waterproof. I will be the first one to tell you that. Do not think that. Get that out of your head right away. It is not waterproof. It never has been waterproof, and there is nowhere that PENTAX has ever stated that it is waterproof. It is weather resistant, and the WR is a lighter version of weather resistance than the more heavy duty weather resistance that comes with an AW lens. Yes, you do pay money, big money, for the AW weather sealing than you do with the WR. But anyway, so as you may be aware, I actually have pretty much permanently mounted the HD 1.4 time teleconverter onto my 100 macro lens. I have not done a video in regards to how does that change the macro capability on the lens itself. It actually does magnify even further, so you're getting more than 1.1 to, or 1-to-1 macro shooting capability when you do add the teleconverter, and there is no loss of image quality from what I can perceive. So yeah, let's just get into what the difference with and without the teleconverter and look at the images, and you can draw your own conclusions when we get to the end of the video. Now, we're going to be looking at a distance of about 13 to maybe 14 inches, somewhere around there. It's not at the maximum close distance for shooting. It's not at the minimum focal range. However, this will still show a good enough magnification for you to get an idea as to how much of a difference the 1.4 teleconverter actually does make. So I've got the tripod set up here. Yes, I know it's on a couch, but I was very, very gentle. The images are the same. It wasn't moved or anything like that. I'm shooting in live view just to make sure that it's absolute pinpoint focused. And I'm manually adjusting very, very slightly just to double check the focus to make sure it's 100% sharp. And yes, I was using focus peaking in order to do this. So I took my first preliminary shot, and now I'm just double checking, making sure it came out good. Now I'm going to remove the lens and the 1.4 teleconverter. I'm going to remove the 1.4 teleconverter, and now I am placing the 100 macro back on natively with no teleconverter whatsoever. And now I'm going to redo the exact same shot so you can see back to back what magnification difference actually happens when you use or do not use the 1.4 teleconverter. And this is why I state, if you have the 1.4 teleconverter and the macro lens, do yourself a favor, mount the 1.4 teleconverter to the macro lens, and you will be blown away. It's an excellent, excellent, excellent combination through and through. And then pretty much here I'm just putting everything back together because that's how I like it. That's how I like it, and that's how I'm going to use it. So let's just get into what the two images look like. So here in the first image, this is with the 1.4 time teleconverter. You can see it looks macro, but the moment that I remove the 1.4 time teleconverter, then you start to really see a difference in regards to the magnification. So this is without the 1.4 time teleconverter. This is just the lens natively at 100 millimeters. So with the 1.4 time teleconverter, you're actually creating a 140 millimeter macro lens experience. And again, with the remote sitting here, this is with just the lens on its own, 100 millimeters, no teleconverter. And the one thing I do want to mention, as you'll see here, once this switches over, booyah, is the depth of field. Because you're increasing the magnification and increasing the focal length, your depth of field becomes even thinner. So you really have to pay attention to that if you're going to actually use this combination. So at this point, I decided I should actually shoot this aloe plant to give more context. And here we have the 1.4 teleconverter pretty much at minimum focus distance. And as you can see, it's very magnified. It's 140 millimeters with a greater than 1:1 macro ratio. And then I took the same shot at minimum focus distance with just the 100 macro lens on its own. And as you can see, it's a much wider angle of view. Then I thought to showcase the finite detail that you do actually get. So this is the minimum focus distance with just the lens natively, and here it is again with the actual teleconverter at minimum focus distance. As you can see, there really is no perceptible difference in image quality. So there you have it. The PENTAX 100 millimeter f2.8 macro, regardless if it's the older one, the mid model refresh one, which is the WR that I have here, this one here, or if it's the brand new HD 100 macro, they would all be absolutely fantastic using a combination of the lens with the 1.4 HD rear teleconverter. You end up with a 140 millimeter focal length on the lens itself, and you get greater than 1:1 macro magnification. And on top of that, there doesn't seem to be any perceptible loss of image quality. As I mentioned before, the only things you have to watch out for is your depth of field, because it will become that much more razor thin given the fact that you're extending the focal length of the lens. Other than that, it's a fantastic, fantastic combination. It allows you to shoot macro from a further distance away while maintaining the 1:1 ratio. And if you want to get more magnification than 1:1, then you can also move closer, because the minimal focus distance will still allow you to get very close to the subject. And that's pretty much it for this video. If you like the video, leave a like. If you have not already, do subscribe. Whether it's my channel or any other channels you like, subscribe. It really helps out. If you want to support the channel, that info's at the bottom of the description. Sure, most of you do know, but in case you don't, I do not get any kickbacks or anything from Pentax whatsoever. We barely even talk. I've sent the messages. I never get a response. It's kind of a sad state of affairs, but I love the equipment, so I'm going to keep pumping out videos. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below, and that's it. You'll see me on my next video. I'm out.